It's getting cloudy again, so our forecast is showing rain for days. It actually started last night and has been going pretty strong all through the morning, but it looks like we have a break in it for just a little bit. And I've been wanting to harvest some of our honeysuckles. So that's actually what we're going to be doing right now. There's a million and one different things you can do with honeysuckles. They are quite versatile. And if they're there, I don't like to waste them. So we are going to go harvest some of them. They are absolutely everywhere. The land smells so good right now. When you step outside, you're just like hit with that aroma, and it just brings back so many good memories. But anyway, as I was saying, we are going to step outside and harvest a few of them, and I thought we could take you along with us. So let us go. So we weren't able to harvest near as many as I was hoping. Now, when you're making tinctures, you're wanting equal parts of the flower, equal parts of the stem and the leaves. But if you're wanting to do something culinary wise, you're wanting just the flower. Now, we would have normally just picked the flower, but that takes just way too long. So we just snip it off. And when we are inside, we can just pick off the flowers, and it just makes the task a little bit more enjoyable. But we have had so many storms lately that I think a lot of the buds have blown away in all the wind. But of course, they are vining, and we have tons that are up so high, and we weren't able to reach them. But there's a lot that are still blooming, and I wanted to leave them on there, and we'll go back and pick them when they're ready. Now, this is definitely not enough, in my opinion, to dry them out and make a big batch of a tea mixture. So for now, we're just going to make us a singular cup of tea for each of us and enjoy what we have available at the moment. So there are numerous different methods to steep honeysuckle or make honeysuckle tea. I prefer a 1-to-1 ratio because it just makes a stronger tea, but we don't have that many. So to try to compensate for the lack of honeysuckles, I'm just going to steep it for a lot longer. Normally you'd recommend maybe an hour or so, but I'm going to try to steep ours for about 3 hours. And since that's going to take a while, we are going to make some cookies in the meantime. Hello, friends. So we've got another very cozy overcast day today. I just put Irish June down, and honestly, it was all I could do to keep from just tucking in beside her and get myself my own little nap. But we've got way too much to do for that, so I decided I would forgo that. But anyway, we have had an ample amount of rain just as the forecast projected. We definitely have had our fair share of precipitation, not complaining in the least, but we also have our fair share of mud that the dogs have tracked in. I guess everything's give and take. So, with it being a bit of a slower day, I thought I could share with you some of my latest antique and vintage finds that I have found most recently. I didn't realize, apparently, having rounded up my newest finds, it looks like I've been on an antique painting kick. Vintage and antique paintings are definitely an investment, but I will say I find that it's those very pieces that I tend to keep forever. And I don't think there's ever a piece that I have regretted investing in. So that's always a conversation that I tell myself when I happen to have spent more than I probably should on a few pieces that I come across. But anyway, let me share with you some of my favorite finds lately. Okay, so if you've been around for a bit, you know that your girl likes tapestries, and if I happened upon an antique or vintage one, it is all the more. Here she is. I absolutely love the muted color tones. I think that's one of the things that I appreciate most about old paintings is the fact that they are very weathered, not perfect in the slightest, and they tend to have more muted tones than a more fresh piece. And I just appreciate that so much about old things. This one is definitely one of them. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be doing with this piece. And honestly, I'm not sure what it was before. Maybe it was potentially off of a chair or something like that. But I think I might try to frame it. I really, really don't want to cut it, but I may try to fold it around the back of the frame or something like that. If any of you guys have any ideas as to what I can do with this, I would be more than happy to hear from you about it. Number two, I am such a sucker for thatched roofs. I wish I had one myself. And when I find a painting that has one of those in them, I am just insanely drawn to them. I also really, really love old paintings that are done on a piece of wood. They are my favorites in particular. I can show you what I do to hang them. I don't like to frame them, I kind of like them in their raw state, but normally I will just glue a little backing on them and hang them up that way. Speaking of little cottages, I've got another similar piece like the previous one. Ugh, and portraits. I mean, come on. Not many things are better than an antique portrait painting. I am just so completely drawn to them. You may have seen my lady in the kitchen. My family doesn't love her near as much as I do, but nonetheless, she is loved. Next one, speaking on paintings on old pieces of wood, I found this one. This one, moody paintings are my absolute favorite. I am just so drawn to them. There's nothing like a painting to really bring a room together and really convey a look that you're trying to go with in your design. It can really, really help be that support system inside of your design that you're looking for. I don't know. I loved all, once again, the very muted tones and the very weathered appearance of this one. I might put this one in our bathroom where the bathroom is being renovated. My only reservation is the fact that there would be a lot of moisture in there, and I would be worried that it would get damaged. So we shall see. Okay, so having showed you some of those new pieces, I thought that together we could change out some of the artwork around the house. I thought we could begin in the living room. I actually haven't touched that since before I decorated for the spring. I've just been in the mood to bring our living room into summer. If you saw our last week's video, you know that I got a new rug. When I bring in a bigger piece like that, it makes me want to redo the entire room. But that said, I did also find some vintage fabrics. You know what? I'm going to get those real quick, share those with you, and then let's talk about what we're going to do with them. I was going to jump into it, but I'll wait and share them with you. Just one sec. Let me go grab them. Y'all, I am such a sucker for pillows made out of vintage fabric, and they can be so insanely expensive. And given the fact that I like to switch my pillows out all the time, I never can bring myself to majorly invest in an old pillow. So I thought, I happened upon this stash of insanely good vintage fabric. A lot of it is hand woven, which, if you know how many kiddos we have, you may be questioning my sanity to put these on a pillow where my kids can destroy them. But, you know, I used to save things up, and I have come to the realization that you might as well just enjoy what you have. And if things get a little messed up, then it's just added character. So, with that said, let me show you some of these pieces. Oh, Junie's up. Wow, that was a short nap, even for her standards. Okay, so let me show you a quick little peek at some of the pieces of fabric that I got, and then we'll make our way into the living room and do a little update on our shelves, at least switch out some of the artwork. I wanted to also have a conversation about which pieces I want to turn into pillows based on the new rug that we got. But yeah, one step at a time. Let me show you some of this fabric we got. So because I think they're going to go together, I'm kind of laying the fabric with the paintings that I'm planning on putting in there. And I think that's really going to aid me in making my decision as to which paintings I'll add and which fabric I will also turn into a pillow. No, baby. No, honey. As with any project, I always like to begin by taking out what I know I'm not going to be using. And in this case, we are switching out the artwork. So I'm going to go ahead and remove all the older artwork pieces that we're going to put away for now. This kind of creates visual space, as far as I'm concerned, for what's going to be entering in its place. got a momentary break in the rain, and I thought this would be the perfect time to do some outdoor work. So our plants are definitely growing and they are needing something to grab onto, and trying to use things that we already have. We have some leftover chicken coop, and I thought that would be perfect for us to make a little archway trellis for all of those climbing plants in the garden. I definitely won't have time to make it for all of them, but there is a spot in particular that is really needing it. So I thought that we could cut us some of that fencing and create one of our own.
Darling, dance with me. Let me show you what I'm about. I could be your honeybee. You know you make me scream and shout. To the top of the hills we'll be free. A kiss like no one's watching. Just you wait and see. I could be your mystic blue. You could be my only muse. Let's take a chance, no point in dying. Without this love, there's no denying. To the top of the hills we'll be free. A kiss like no one's watching. Just you wait and see.
Antique portrait painting. Oh no. No. Ivy doesn't need your painting. Needing it, and so I thought, hey Ivy. No, Ivy.